The Driving While Awesome podcast is recorded live to SD card at the Beeline Motor Club in Santa Cruz, California. I think it was called like scrotum, scrotal something, scrotal drapage. BMW steering wheels are squishy.
So, dude, basically, I had a crappy diaper in the trunk, and it's permeating through a very thick firewall. By the way,
yeah, your trunk is full of poop
or whatever.
So,
what the heck? Stray dog in the building?
Welcome to Driving While Awesome, part of the Hagerty Podcast Network. My name is Warren.
I am Lane.
And I'm Mark.
Thanks for joining us. This is a whole new era.
Feels weird, guys.
It kind of feels like the first time.
Yeah.
It's a little strange. But we shouldn't feel that way because we used to record on video.
We did during COVID days.
Well, yeah, during COVID days for sure. But we had a few sessions in your old house, West Side House.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that.
Tiny little cramped scene.
Yeah. Oh, and with like the first Camisa episode at Art's house.
Oh.
Right? In San Francisco.
Oh, do we have a cam on that?
We did a camera, and it's on YouTube somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I think it was called like scrotum, scrotal something, scrotal drapage. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're right.
I think so.
I do remember that.
And who came up with that title?
I don't know. You or Jason?
You did.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know.
No.
Well, no,
Jason,
but it was something said in the show.
Yeah. It was
obviously.
a Jason quote. Maybe it was about old Ferrari leather or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which we probably shouldn't claim that, but, you know.
My
fine.
portion, my 911 has a little bit of that around the sunroof. Like the headliner has a little, and when Paul sold it to me, he said it has a little scrotal.
Drapage.
Drapage.
Oh, nice. He remembered. Yeah. Nice callback.
Yeah.
Dude, so there's a guy that, and I think it's in Australia, right? The dude that makes shift knobs out of kangaroo scrotums.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, but like I know they use the leather.
First of all, kangaroo leather as a stretch, and this is really a stretch.
Oh, it's definitely a stretch. Yeah, and it's supposed to be the softest material around.
How does it feel on your car?
I don't know. I haven't tried it. Maybe my ZHP knob would probably benefit from it.
Yeah, people were talking about what you're going to get for your car, and I think you just figured it out.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's why you got the car.
That is why you got the car. Exactly. Do you guys want to start with questions or project car updates or event updates?
I mean, maybe talking about what we're doing here.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Might be a good idea.
Well, I feel like
things are a little different.
Most people listening, watching, have been listener of the podcast for a long time.
What do I do with my hands? First, tell me that.
No, you just keep them under the table.
Okay.
Or
keep
under your
table.
Under your lap.
I'm a fidgety person, though. I like neat.
Yeah. You can fidget away.
Jazz fingers.
Jazz hands?
Yeah. I'm like.
Do a Happy Hands Club?
Yep.
Yeah, so we are guys that talk about cars, and it just so happens that we are now part of a bigger network for the Hagerty Podcast Network, and that includes our buddies, the Carmudgeon Show, and many more titles to come. But for now, Driving While Awesome is a part of that, and we're kind of doing this first episode before Monterey Car Week. So that was sort of the goal, is to get all this stuff set up and rolling before Pebble Beach and everything, so we can talk to people about it while we're down there.
Yep.
Which is coming up in a matter of hours, it feels like.
Yeah.
So we're about to go to Camping While Awesome tomorrow.
That
just crazy.
That shows you how early we're recording this, but yeah.
Yeah. It's all good.
I know we're going to Camping While Awesome tomorrow, and then the next week is like basically like Wednesday the festivities start.
Yeah, Tuesday for me. I mean, there's the celebration of motorsport at Laguna Seca Tuesday, and Pilo, our boy Pilo, Patrick Long, we'll be doing hot laps with people as a passenger riding shotgun.
Nice.
At Laguna Seca, supposedly in a 934. I don't know. We'll see about that.
It keeps changing.
I love 934s.
I heard in his 911 SC now, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens for sure.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's starting earlier.
Things are getting a lot less exciting, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So next thing it'll be just a standard 924.
Yeah. He's like, actually, it's some dude's 912E.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
It's something.
Cool.
Can you imagine 912E going up the hill there?
My God.
Yeah.
We never talked about this, but you know that after Car Week, I'm not sure exactly when, but Laguna Seca is going to run a hill climb the opposite direction up the corkscrew.
That's rad. Yeah, I did hear that.
What?
Yeah. They're going to run it reverse up the hill, up the hill. So which
like
is
super
steep.
a timed event.
I believe so.
And where does it start?
Goodwood style.
At the starting line?
I don't think it'll be that far back. I would imagine it'll probably be like at that second to last turn.
Which is kind of lame.
That's too short.
I know. I was actually hoping that
Yeah.
they started at like turn 2, dude. Like all the way, go
that's
backwards
long,
on the
like-
long straight, and because you're gaining elevation all the way.
Yeah,
back
but those
up.
are such long straights. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
but
see.
a whole lap is, say a fast car, a whole lap is a minute 35,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah. But this is just hill climb style. Like,
I know. But like,
short.
yeah, but it would be like you would want to start at like the turn 10 or whatever, last turn.
Maybe they will.
At least.
I'm not sure.
I think it's, but
And then you'd want to go, or before that, you'd want to go down the front straight probably.
I was picturing having this finish line up and over the crest so they can launch off that thing.
Actually, I like Art's idea. Start at turn 3 and then do turn 1 in reverse or turn 2 in reverse.
Turn 2 in reverse.
And then do the straight, and then you have
Yeah, because you have elevation right there, and then you drop for a second, but then you're right back up to going up. And I was hoping that was the case, but it's not. I think it's actually is 11 the 90-degree turn, the last one? I think it starts after that. I can't remember.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, it'll be all right.
That'll be good because you'd also have to consider that when they come back around up and over, they need to be able to access the pit. And you couldn't have it start at turn 3 because you'd be in the way of the pit road.
Yeah, you can get them all. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like it'd have to be at least at
So
turn
when is
2.
this?
I think it's after Car Week.
And are we allowed to go to it?
I don't know much more about it. We need to do some
I want to
research.
go to this so bad.
I know.
Awesome.
It sounds really cool. I do really hope that they have the finish line all the way over the crest because cars will
where
be flying.
the finish line has to be like going down towards turn 6, right?
Essentially like that coasting
Yeah.
portion where there's that advertisement bridge. It'll probably be that, which would be pretty rad to sit down like
So awesome.
below turn 6 and see them coming over.
Yeah.
Because they'll be
That's
going
cool.
quick. So
That's cool. Hopefully they get some good cars.
yeah, well, I don't even know what the classes are or how they're doing it, but
I mean, like Goodwood style would be cool where they're like running prototypes and stuff, like not prototype class, but like cool prototypes
everything,
and stuff
right?
like that. Yeah.
which they should do as part of these reunion historic races or just Pebble Beach in general, is like open this up to a part of the week for Laguna Seca.
Yeah, it'd be so cool.
Be really cool.
Something really, I enjoy like that kind of timed thing where you're like one car against another car, just straight up like times. It's pretty fun to watch.
It's so rad.
It's
yeah,
fun.
I want to do
see
it myself.
different generations do the same time, but like totally different ways, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like and there's certain sections where some cars are faster and carry more momentum. Yeah, I would love to do it, dude. Like it sounds like a great opportunity to go out there. It's way cooler than, I mean, this is going to be very controversial, but I think it's way cooler than just doing Laguna Seca laps. I mean, like Laguna's is fine, but I always feel like I need the fastest car possible to really enjoy it
Because it's such a big track.
Yeah.
It's big open sweepers, you know, and like everything else is just, it's, you know, you're kind of just chilling, you're waiting for the next turn, like, and unless it's some hyper car or something, I feel like to really thoroughly enjoy it. I do want to go back and say that to our listeners who are not watching us on video, one thing we did not mention is that we are on camera right now. So you want to check out our channel. We're going to have a dedicated channel on Hagerty's YouTube page. And so you'll be able to see all of our podcasts there and our ugly mugs. Well, mine, not Warren's.
No,
Warren's
definitely mine too. Yeah, I didn't wear any makeup tonight, so I'll have to adjust.
No, but we got to show them our true selves before.
we?
Yeah, before we go make up, start wearing fancy stuff.
We are also at Beeline Motor Club, which our intro indicated. But if you are watching on the YouTubes, we have a collection of cars here. Art rolled in his Skyline, which is wonderful. My broken car, the yellow one. Lane's car back here, the red one. Nick of Beeline is GTI right behind me.
RT30 up top left.
Yep. It's gotten a lot of progress on the project so far.
Many progress. Yeah, dude, so many progresses. Did you hear that? So many progresses.
A lot of progresses.
So I do have an update, project car update. Everything shipped today,
Everything.
except for the oil pan. So
You're going to need the oil pan.
I need the oil pan. I got them. So this, for the listeners, this is the K24 swap. The engine's sitting over there. I talked to K Power Industries. I'm like, dude, like, we got to get this moving along. You know, like, can you just please ship me whatever you have? Because the car's at the shop and, you know, they want to start working on it, whatever. And he's like, okay, the only thing we don't have is the oil pan, and it's 3 weeks out. So whatever that means, we'll see if it really is.
Well, you're a long ways from 3 weeks off needing the oil pan, so that's all good.
Yeah, so at least he can get something going. And there are parts that need to come off the actual engine and then he needs to replace. Like the intake manifold is different. The water pump is different. The oil pump is different. So like at least he can start getting those things going.
Yeah.
And then the big one, and Lane called it out, my engine bay is full of Cosmoline, so the engine needs to come out. And, Nick felt pretty, confident that he could hit that up with some steam something and take it all out. But
there you go.
I definitely need, so that'll have to be all cleaned up even before anything gets in there. So
a lot of people love Cosmoline.
Really?
Yeah. That's like a sign of originality.
So I'm totally stripping it away.
Like my Vanagon has Cosmoline on the fender liner or fenders, and everyone says like that's non-existent on those cars. So, but for what you're doing,
it's not going to be original.
It's not going to be original anymore, right?
Yeah.
But if that was a 50,000 mile E30, you would not want to take that off.
But they have it all over inside like that.
His is like extreme.
His is crazy. I've
Yeah,
never seen
it's
it
like
that.
it's like a cheap tanning salon. They just went crazy, right?
It's on every surface, right? It needs to be.
Yeah. Spray tan.
Huh?
Yeah, because it's all not on the engine itself. It's also on like the strut towers and on the firewall and like.
I feel like
rust.
I feel like that dude like messed up.
At the dealership.
Yeah, he was just high.
Well, look, the Ohio was off all that Cosmoline.
Yeah,
he just started it, and he's like, hey, "Dude, let's just."
That was the end of the day job.
Oh yeah,
my E30, I don't have any Cosmoline, very little. So
yeah, and what's weird is that I would expect it like for a Midwest car or Canadian car or something like that, but this is originally an Arizona car, so very dry. Isn't Cosmoline supposed to protect against like rust and shit?
No,
like
it's
that,
put on the
salt
factory, so it just depends on.
Oh, it's factory.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was dealer.
Yeah, but is that the factory all over the fenders?
I don't know.
I don't.
Like I said, his is
disagree,
more than
dude. I don't
any
think so.
I've seen.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a dealer.
I've never seen one.
Because
ugly.
it's like another. It's what is the famous thing on Fargo, right? Like the
coating,
the coating or whatever that they always sell you.
Maybe they just fire hosed it on, but
it might have.
Yeah, but dude, no rust.
No rust.
You got that going for you.
Well, he does have rust.
There's one fender that does.
So you got some rust,
but and it doesn't have Cosmoline on it. See, that's the part that rusted.
That guy was drunk that day.
He missed the bottom corner of the fender where he got the rust.
Yep. You said that car came from Arizona, like dealership?
Yeah, originally Arizona, and then it came to California, and it's always been here since.
Yeah. Rust never sleeps, they say.
I know. I heard your commentary about the Vanagon and rust around the windshield. That's gnarly.
Yeah, it progressed very quickly, which is really kind of scary because my E30 has some, like on the sunroof, there's a little bubble.
Yeah.
And the trunk lid, the clear coat's going. So I think that's like a matter of time. But yeah, it's nothing you can do about it. I mean, we do live by the ocean, and it's not a perfect environment. It's definitely not Arizona or like the desert. But at the same time, it's an indoor parked car and not like out exposed. But yeah, it's just 30 plus years.
And I'm sure it's 10 times better than most, right? Like considering.
Oh, for sure. Especially underneath the car. I mean, I'm just talking about like one rust bubble that I know of. But yeah, most cars you look underneath and it's like what they pass for is like a not very rusty car in Cleveland or Pittsburgh or name your Rust Belt city. This is, perfect. So got that going for me.
Yeah, I posted a Vanagon that I saw in Santa Barbara. I didn't know any of the specs. I'm like, oh, this is a nice little van.
Yeah.
I was like,
at first I thought it was Warren's car.
I know, it was very, very similar.
It's similar, right? Yeah. It has the little air dam and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And and I guess the wheels were very rare. 5 spokes that are on there.
Not very rare, but yeah, they're out there.
Okay, someone commented. They said
like star specs or something.
Yeah, they're a pretty common like Vanagon upgrade.
Okay.
Not common, but you see them. Yeah.
They're nice though. They look really good on there.
Yeah, they surprisingly Vanagons can take a lot of different OEM wheels too. So
Mercedes.
A lot of Mercedes is very common.
5x112.
And then also obviously all Volkswagen Passat wheels and people run it all. So
yep.
Nice. So what's going on? I mean, you mentioned your yellow car that's broken. Is it really broken? We can go into some project car down dates.
I don't really want to get into it. I've already covered it on this podcast. There's no change. It's a depressing situation. Parts needed are not available.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to do. But we have it up on a lift. Nick has a scissor lift. So able to put it in the air and kind of look at some things. And I found out that the backside of the muffler is also worn, cracking, needs a new muffler. So that's fun. Basically needs like header back exhaust. So I could get away with like the resonators and stuff, but at that point, need like $3,000 in exhaust work. So that's pretty fun.
That's pretty sweet, dude.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but just go aftermarket at this point. I mean, if you're out to go that route.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I just want to
those cars,
throw it away.
There's so many options that sound killer that are not like very expensive.
Look so cheesy.
No, but that's the thing is like you find a good one, right? Like
I've never seen a good one. Every single one I see.
My Dynan one is super low key. Like,
okay, Dynan, but that's no cheaper. That's
but there's Dynan. There's like Eisenman, which is pretty good too. There's I think it's a not Borla. It's like I can't remember, but but there's some decent looking ones that are not like weird shapes or like stick out too far. But
yeah, I've never seen them. Other than Dynan or Alpina.
But the main issue with yours is that you have California catalytic converters that are not doing their job anymore, and those are very expensive. And you were saying that if it was a 49 state cat, it's like $150.
Yeah.
And how much is the California one?
$800 each for aftermarket. They don't have any currently. They might get some soon, and I cannot find a complete assembly.
Is that from like MagnaFlow?
Yeah,
or something?
MagnaFlow.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone out of state want to buy this car?
Yeah, hit me up.
It's a nice car.
Hit me up if you want a almost one owner Dakar yellow 95 M3. Best price for you.
For you, my friend.
For you, my friend.
Good deal on the Dakar.
Yes. Holler.
Yeah.
But yeah, no other updates on that car. It's depressing. I have no time to touch it. So it's just going to sit there, collect dust, not be driving.
Yeah. Well,
sick.
If it makes you feel any better, I've learned this is now the third car I buy on an online auction. I think. So I bought the cars and the cars and bid. I bought the ZHP on Cars and Bids.
330.
It's a 330. It's a 2003 330i ZHP, 6-speed manual, Imola red, and over Alcantara interior. And I know it had some paint work. I know it had been in a parking lot accident on the left side. It's on the Carfax, all that stuff. But the pictures did not depict the details, And
sounds
so,
like your Celica.
Sounds like my Celica, and so which I could have done to my Celica and I didn't do, but this car needs a proper like wet sand and buff. Like the parts that like you can tell like the doors or the orange peel is not the same, and and the masking wasn't perfect.
Was the whole car resprayed?
Yeah. So it looks like yes, but but the weird thing is that the hood, trunk, rear quarters look really good. They look like OEM orange peel, but the driver's side doors are not perfect. Like they're more orange peely and they're not as they're more opaque. So that's one thing. Okay, whatever. I already talked to Kevin at AutoWorks and he's going to fix that. But it's got way more dings than were shown. But it was like in the ad, it said, hey, it's got dings, chips, whatever, commensurate of 120,000 mile driver.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they always say.
But
what
none of them were shown, and
and
you look and you can kind of see one, and it's like whatever. So there's all this stuff, and I've talked to the owner since, and he's the type of guy who this was his daily driver for 10 years, and he really really likes the car, and is he loves the car, whatever. He really cherished it for what it was as a daily, as a package, but is not a detail-oriented person, and I can tell. And I'm not blaming him, but it's there's a lot of stuff that you point out, right? Like the moldings on the side, on that side, the clips weren't clipped in all the way.
Yeah. I had a classic body shop stuff.
I had to clip it in myself, stuff like that, and it's just dang, and then the more I looked at it,
it's kind of a deal breaker for me if I'm looking at a car. If you see it in person and you kind of know it's been painted, and then you see that stuff, I'm out.
I would have been out.
This is why I am so against buying a car sight unseen on online auction, because how many cars have you looked at in your life, gone to look out to buy
and walked away?
Yeah. And been oh, that car is not as advertised, or the pictures look good, but in person it looked like crap.
But I think with the right photos, documentation, and then ideally you get a pre-purchase inspection by someone who's like Paul at Auto Kennel or someone like that has seen
but that's having someone you trust go look at.
Almost you there, right?
You need to invest in that. If it's depending on the car,
due diligence.
Unless it's a crazy rare car or a super good deal. But I mean, non-original paint like this M3, if it had been painted, I wasn't interested.
Yeah. And I was fine with it based on the looks, and the receipts were there and I saw how much he paid and all that stuff. But it's just kind of like there's little details like that, and I agree with Warren or Lane. I would have probably not bought it if I would have seen the car in person, just because I paid like a fair market price for it. I didn't pay like top dollar for it, but like I'm already immediately like a couple grand into this car just based on what I see. I knew the shocks were worn, which was mentioned, so I knew that going into it. So I knew that. I knew the headliner was sagging, and he had pictures of that. I knew that the ABC and pillars were starting to wrinkle. Which I'll tell you about in a second.
You knew the driver bolster needed work.
The driver bolster needed work. I knew that. But like, it just bothers me that like there was like those little details were things that I would have shown. Like, hey, the freaking door moldings are unclipped. Even if they can be fixed, like they were not the way they should be. But I don't think that he even realized.
Well,
it.
and you would take a picture down the line of the car and say like, there's like 10 to 12 dents down the side of the door.
Yeah.
And they are hard to show in pictures.
They're hard to show. Yeah. This one has like 6 that are
But you would call them out. You wouldn't say like, oh, there's a few dents. And you would be like, okay, here's what's up.
And like some of these postings have 250 photos and like 50 of those are all the flaws. And this probably didn't have that.
No, it was just all general like stuff except for the interior, because I guess that's what he saw the most. And like he was just in and out of the car. Like the front grille, the left one is fine, but the right one, like 2 of the clips are broken, so it's a little loose, like stuff like that. I guess unless you're actually wiping down the car and doing it, and like the guy has dough. I mean, he has a 458. He's got like a Dynon Stroker, like E92 M3 that he tracks, and so he has his car like detailed and washed regularly, and like. I mean, he's not the type of person who's doing it himself. So like, and I know based on what he was talking about, and how he described the car too, but like those little things I would have highlighted to be like, hey, this is broken right here. Like, and it's like, okay, I'll just get the grill. So it's like little stuff like that, so it's just like, it's adding up. Right. So now that, but I'm going to do control arms. I'm going to go through, I'll get the paint sorted. I'll get the interior sorted. And so like at the end of the day, I'm probably going to be, let's say I paid close to 15 for it. I'm probably gonna be 17 into this car, and at least I'll have a really nice one. But like, it's just annoying that like, but now like, I would have paid 17 for a really nice one.
I mean, that's where I'm at with this car. You say the same thing. Yeah. It's like if I really wanted a perfect one, I could have paid 25 and been at the same spot.
Done, yeah.
Although even at 25, you'd be putting another
you're
like 1,500 into it.
Yeah.
It's like Gano. He says every car he gets, he puts 8 to 10 grand in right away. Like
I totally get it. It's just there are some things that you would pass on a car, like you're saying, like paint work or it doesn't pass smog, for example. That's kind of one that is nice to have covered.
That's a big one. And I actually, because of your experience, I made sure that was done, and it was done a month ago. And it's 90 days in California.
It's also a law thing.
100%.
It has to be done.
I messed up.
That was on Warren because the lady should have smogged it, and I bet she would have gone through the motions, right? And then it
would have failed, and then I would have bought it for whatever
$5,000
less.
Exactly, yeah. So, or have her fix it and say, "I'll take it if you fix it," and then you build that into the price. So I mean, whatever. Totally. I'm fine with it. I think I'm happy. The car runs really well. Like shifts really nice. The brakes are good. Like. It's hard to tell how well it handles because the shocks are super tired. Like just driving down the road, it doesn't bounce. But like if you go into a turn and you hit a bump mid corner, it like wallows and it doesn't dampen.
You drove it home from Santa Barbara?
Yeah. So I drove it home from Santa Barbara, and
it's like my E36, all wallowy.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's like it's not that bad, but it's up. It's getting there. They're original, and it's got 120 something thousand miles on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll go through the suspension, do bushings. It's got a light diff mount clunk, which is very common on those cars. So I'll get the diff mounts done. I'm going to do all the shock mounts at the same time, the strut mounts. So like, it's money, it's all going to
sounds like a used car, dude.
Sounds like a used car. But, at the same time, I'm like, with this one in particular, like find another Imola manual Alcantara interior. Like they just don't sedans.
I mean, they do come along once in a while, but you're right. Like
I haven't seen one in years.
Find one today,
and this is like a good package. So I was happy to see that. I would have gotten a different, interesting color and like a cool interior, but like I was like, shit, like this is actually a rad package. Cloth heated seats, like that's so rad.
Did you consider something more modern?
I was. So I was looking for the F31, which is a 3 Series touring, like from I want to say 2016 to 2019 or something like that. I can't remember the model, maybe even a little bit newer. I wanted that in a manual rear wheel drive, and I just couldn't find one. Yeah. They're all X-Drive or automatic, and most of them are black or gray, and I didn't want black or gray. I got to the point where I was actually starting to talk to to Tim, who's down there. He, a friend of ours who took his on a rally, and he has the same model, but
diesel, right?
It's a diesel, yeah. And
Auto,
he's going through so many issues. Yeah. Like he basically, speaking of emissions, dude, you want to check this shit out.
Oh, with a diesel.
With the diesel. So he is at the point where like the car is sitting in his driveway and he doesn't know what to do because the dealer can't figure out what the emission systems issues are. Yeah. Like it's throwing all these codes. They've gone through and replaced all these different filters and all this pressure, and nothing's working. And so it's just sitting there. Like he's like trying to decide what he's going to do with it. And he's going to try one more DPF and like then see what happens, but it's so gnarly, dude. So like diesel's definitely not the way.
I remember Warren... It was like the twin turbo diesel, right? Or it's a turbo diesel.
Oh, the 335s?
You had a car in.
Yeah.
And it was like right at like 60,000, like just everything.
Yeah. And then like famously the Sprinters, the DEF enabled Sprinter vans, I forget what year it is, 2010 or whatever, but they notoriously have problems, the same issues. Yeah. And the dealerships don't know what to do with them. There's not enough info to fix them.
Somewhat related, I actually didn't ask because we were talking about something else, but a friend of ours has a Metris camper in Hawaii. It's 4 years old, fresh out of warranty, rod knock. And he went to the dealership, so out of warranty, totally out of pocket. There's metal shavings in the engine. Like he's in Kauai, so he had to transport the car to Honolulu. And I'm like, why are you keeping it? Do you like it that much? He's like, dude, it works for everything that I need, like just the size and like it's a camper conversion and all that shit.
It works.
Yeah, but like gnarly, dude. Yeah, so who knows what? I don't know if is that a
engine
Chrysler engine or what is it?
No, it's Mercedes, but I mean that's a motor swap.
It is definitely a motor swap, but I don't know what motor's in it. But obviously, just for it to like fail like this. Yeah, it's probably oil starvation or some weird turbo failure. I don't know, but it's super gnarly. Going back to the 330 real quick, I mentioned the A, B, and C pillars. So I, when I took delivery of the car, because I had it shipped to our place in Santa Barbara because I couldn't get down to San Diego. And so I put it in the garage and I was just going through it, whatever. And the first thing I noticed is how much I love the interior smell. It smells like that early 2000s BMW smells, like super distinctive, Is it
kangaroo scrotum or no?
It's kangaroo scrotum with a little bit of English leather in it.
Nice.
Or no, a Deutsch leather actually. Yeah. And so I'm going through, I'm looking at the A-pillar fabric and I'm like, okay, like, can I get away with just peeling this off for now? Cause it's like annoying because the A-pillar on the right side, on the passenger side was really wrinkly. So I start pulling it off, dude, and it's black underneath. So it's like a black, like a really tight felt. Mm-hmm. And so I just ended up just pulling it all off. And so I pulled it off of all the A-pillars or the A-pillars and the B-pillars. I didn't touch the C, but like, it's actually like, it looks pretty nice. It just looks like black fabric,
we should do, and the listeners, the viewers can also chime in on this. How long will Art own this car? Are we talking 3 months?
3 months? Wow.
Maybe 4?
Is that too long?
That might be too long.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I can just tell by the nature, what you're talking about, and the quality of the car that you're probably not as stoked on it.
Yeah. Do you want to do a headliner in it?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to
fix the seat.
I want to. Yeah. It's fine.
And suspension.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, it's. I wanted to experience a ZHP with fresh suspension as they are.
So what's up with the mythical ZHP? Because I've driven a 328 or 330 CI or I
on ZHP.
Yeah, Brian's
right,
and his was all like done up, his suspension and stuff. And I remember driving it. It's pretty soulless.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like experience a ZHP will take like a month, and then you'll be like, well, I know what that is.
But it's like it's for what it is, right? It's a daily. It's like I don't need it to be like.
You want an M3 sedan?
Nah, I mean
this thing back here.
No, I actually I'm fine with this thing. Like that's too big. I thought about it. I was looking at them and like I mean this is actually a nice size.
That question we had last week or whenever that was about cars that are actually better automatic.
Yeah.
Not saying your car is, but
or it wasn't on that show.
Oh, okay. Well, it was a good question about cars that. Everyone says, enthusiasts say you need a manual, but in fact, like an automatic is probably best.
Yeah.
We didn't mention the 928 Porsche, which I thought was maybe
or an SEC Mercedes. C126.
You can't get a manual, but
yeah.
I mean,
they did.
But that's definitely a better auto. And so we were saying SL, that you can get a manual.
Yeah.
But a 928, I think like Paul says that he kind of prefers it in an automatic.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Which I don't know,
but I like it with a manual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
it's more hot roddy kind of like
the BMW wagon. I think might be a better auto. I don't think it's really like something you need a manual
like
for.
Which BMW?
The one he was talking about,
like that
a
generation
16 through
with
19.
the ZF, with the 8-speed.
The real modern, because you're like, I really want a manual, but I think like if you could find a rear drive auto, for what you're doing with it, it would be pretty good.
Well, I just experienced that with the M3, and like I feel like the amount of driving I do and what I do with it, like, you know, going up and down these hills and twisty roads and like all that, like I feel like a manual.
Going to
I just want more
Target and
control.
opening the hatch and you know, picking up your mail at the top of your driveway. I mean, you got to get the oxygen tank out for that, but
so you know, open up the trunk requires an automatic. Well,
just
I'll tell
that's
you
the type of driving you're doing is driving to Target.
Yeah.
And
but the thing is that just immediately, like the thing that I enjoy the most about this car is the fact that it has a really nice 6-speed manual. Like that's like the one thing that stood out is like from being.
I think from a ZHP E46 standpoint, yes, that makes a lot of sense. But
you're
the more
talking about
modern
the automatic
stuff,
one, the other one. Yeah, I mean, maybe
the autos have gotten so much better.
They are good. Yeah, they are good. But I'm happy with that. And so it's not like and you know, I even mentioned it earlier. You know, we were talking with Nick here at Beeline, and he's like, yeah, let's get it on the rack if you want to rally it. I'm like, no, dude, like this is not a car I have any interest in rallying. Like it's just like it's very comfortable, it's very solid, and like it goes down the road like a very Teutonic German car does. You know, it's like heavy and it just rolls really, really smoothly, and like it's quiet and like it's very it's great. It's a perfect daily for that reason, you know.
It's
like
a great Venn diagram of modern and analog. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like kind of crosses
and so
up, but
it's got that.
I just think you're gonna get tired of it really quick.
We'll see.
And anyways, if anyone wants to buy an Imola Red ZHP,
I just don't
or
see
a
any
Dakar
like,
Yellow 95 M3, you let us
buy his
know.
car first, and then
or
if
a
you change your mind.
97 M3 auto.
Oh, my 97,
for sure.
yeah, my M3 sedan is definitely for sale. I need to clean it, and like otherwise, it's a really nice car. It's just it just needs a good cleaning. That's sitting in my driveway. That has a really nice Alcantara headliner that was actually done okay. But yeah, so that car I have home now. So I talked to Kevin. Good for him. He's super busy leading into Car Week. He's doing all this prep for OEMs. He's doing all the Lucid cars for their display.
Yeah, I guess who hooked him up with that?
Oh, I wonder who did that. But they haven't hooked us up with any cars though, huh?
I think we'll get that. We'll get that stealth edition.
They hit us up to like go drive them in Monterey during their.
Okay.
I mean, that's just like anyone can.
Yeah.
Oh, just like in some Target parking lot. But anyways,
we'll get
car.
one. We'll get
Well,
one.
it's out there at a Spanish Bay.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay. But yeah, happy with the car. I did discover as a bonus, as opposed to these negatives,
Weed under the seat.
No, that would be cool. It had a Dynan Flash Stage 1, at some point, and I have the receipt for that. But like, you know, Lane mentioned how like these cars have, you know, they're throttle by wire, and like they have like a weird sort of delay, you know, they're not super responsive. And like in the Dynan description, like that's the first thing they talk about, like throttle response and smoothing out the power delivery.
Because that was like when we drove Brian's car, I think we all drove it. And when I drove it, my first response was like 0 throttle response. Like it was frustrating to drive basically.
Yeah, so that's fixed. It supposedly makes a few horsepower more, whatever. But which is weird too, because what does that mean? Because like the ZHP has different cams already and makes more power than the standard car. Has different final drive. I mentioned before. I think I didn't mention the steering rack. These also have a different steering rack.
Yeah, it's quicker.
And it's also different feeling. It's weighted differently. Like it has like a different torsion bar inside, and so like it's actually like it feels really nice. It's actually very similar to my Skyline. It's like it's a little heavier, you know. It's not like, because you know these cars are so over boosted, and it's like weighted really nice. And it's got the Alcantara steering wheel, which is very squishy. Like it's like very padded underneath.
Yeah, I hate BMW steering wheels.
And so that's I don't
Big
know.
old fat things.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it
yet.
yet. I don't mind the material at all, but like it's squishy, which is like strange.
They are.
Like
BMW steering wheels are squishy too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like they put this like soft foam and then they cover them in leather.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. But yeah, it's not very fast or anything. You know, I mean, it's, who knows, 240-ish horsepower, something like that. I mean, you know, it's because they make a little more power plus the tune, and
weighs 3,500 pounds or something.
I didn't even look. Yeah. But yeah, and I'll see once I get all the suspension dialed how it, because it does have different control arms with solid bushings in them, and obviously the springs and shocks are different on these cars and sways and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we'll see once I get it freshened up. And at this point, yeah, I'm actually really happy with the car, like for its purpose. Like it's really nice. Like the kids love it, and it's got ISOFIX mounts, so I can lock in the seats now. Because only the Cayenne had that from all of our cars. So But the one thing is, I just got to get that paint sorted because like it's a beautiful like 10-footer. It looks awesome, but then once you get close, you're like, that looks a little off, and then and when it's there, you see it every time, and you always look at it.
How's like major maintenance, clutch job, brakes?
Clutch job has not been done.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
How many miles?
120 something. Yeah.
Needs a clutch.
Yeah. So probably, who knows? I don't know.
Anyways, there's a ZHP for sale. It's Imola Red, 120,000 miles.
Yeah. So it's got the brakes are good. Just needs shocks and maybe
Dude,
control
that guy's
arms.
scored.
Yeah.
Selling that thing on Cars and Bids. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot
paint
of
work needs a clutch.
Doesn't need a clutch though. Like because I'm on ZHP Mafia, and
miles.
these guys are saying they go up to 200,000 miles.
You
it depends how you drive the car. Right?
I was gonna say you. No, that's
I'm gonna get it there, right? So I'm gonna get the 30,000 miles out of it.
This will be kind of the grandma car, not quite as extreme. Like that would explode on the way home, but someone who's driven it a certain way, and then you get in it, and you're ZHP.
I'm basically giving it all the shakedown miles.
Yeah,
that's what happened with my 911 when I got it, because it had been like. The guy drove it like 200 miles a year for the last 10 years or something. Gingerly,
and you're a ham-fisted son of a gun.
I am?
Yeah, dude.
I am.
And then I drive it and the pedal box like exploded.
Yeah. He's never mashed on the throttle harder.
Stomped
on it. Yeah.
So it's just the same thing happens like, low mileage grandma car, and you're like, sweet, thing's perfect, factory fresh. And then you just smash the hell out of it, and it's, comes apart. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, I did experience 100-degree heat from little south of like Atascadero all the way up like through Salinas, and I had the AC on full blast.
That's good.
Everything was good.
Good.
Not a smidge.
Oh, cooling system too, right?
Cooling system's cool. And so
Cool.
So we'll do the stuff that I anticipated to do. We'll see about the clutch though. May or may not be a thing. It's hard to tell too because they're
will 100% be a thing. I just don't know when.
Well,
they're self-adjusting too.
It won't 100% because he's only going to keep it for a month and a half.
It might be passed on to the next owner.
Anyways, if you're interested in Imola Red ZHP,
Alcantara interior,
10-footer,
ZHP shift knob,
10-footer, ZHP shift knob,
kangaroo,
all the tools in the trunk,
kangaroo scrotum. Oh, red screwdriver,
black A and B pillars for some reason.
Felt.
Yeah, felt. I have. Felt. By the way, they said
German felt.
I read that it's the same material underneath the headliner, so maybe you'll have a felt headliner too.
Lightweight. It's a lightweight ZHP.
Yeah. I have another project car update real quick. So I was gone for a couple weeks. I came back to my car, my Skyline in the garage, and I went to get my camera, which was in there because I left it in there and needed to post some pictures. And as soon as I opened the door, I'm like, dude, there's a freaking dead animal in here, man. It smelled horrible. Like it smelled like dead rat, like that nasty, pungent, nasty smell. So I'm like, fuck, where is it? So like I go through and I'm like, I look under the seats. I'm like, and so the reason that I even thought that is because I had my daughter's car seat in the back, and she had left like one of those fruit leather things like open in the back.
Are you letting her eat in the bag of that thing?
I let fruit leather slide. She was really hungry. So a little fruit leather.
Dude, it's a slippery slope. Fruit leather one day.
Dude, yogurt the next.
Yogurt the next.
Yeah. Yep. So cottage cheese. Like
you don't have a spoon, just use your hands.
Yeah, no, just shake it.
Yeah.
Shake it like a polar picture. So so I find the fruit leather.
By the way, he threw in cottage cheese.
I did. It's an inside joke with Nick. So last time I brought Lulu down to Morning Motors, she had milk that morning, over 17. She threw up all over herself and all
looked like cottage cheese
everywhere. And so I sent you guys a picture, and then Nick showed his wife, and his wife's like, why is he giving her cottage cheese?
Yeah, that's really bad.
And it was actually just her drinking milk. But anyways, so I look at it, it doesn't look like it was not on or whatever. It was like half eaten, but she had like left in the packaging. No droppings anywhere. I'm like,
he's a real investigatory journalist.
So I lower all the windows in my garage. I leave it like that overnight. It sort of goes away today, and I'm like, all right, dude, this morning I like rolled it out in the driveway, windows down again, and I just leave it open. And so I left it outside all day, and then before I came over here, I rolled the windows up, and it was fine for about 10 minutes, and then it came back, and I'm like, dude, it's got to be. I was thinking engine compartment, maybe spilling in through the firewall, like I'm like smelling it as we're driving, and I dropped the windows halfway down, and I just deal with it. And so I stopped to get gas about 20 minutes out here, and I need to get my octane booster from the trunk, and so I opened the trunk. And there was a shitty diaper in the trunk because I changed her diaper at Morning Motors.
Oh, dude.
And I had put it.
Oh my god, dude!
I had put it in the back.
No, you changed it here, dude.
Oh, was it here?
Here, you changed. I think you did double, dude. But
Might
you
have been
changed
double
one
duty.
right out here. Yeah.
So, how does that not go immediately in a trash?
Because
I don't understand
why didn't
the
you throw it in
logic.
the trash
the
right
logic
here?
there is crazy.
This one here was thrown away. The one here was thrown away because
if you
I
threw that one
remember.
away, you would have had the earlier one already.
I remember the earlier one.
Well,
what
why didn't
happened
you
is
throw the earlier one?
because I
away?
put it in my Hagerty tool bag that was in the trunk, and
Oh
I didn't
my.
see. I forgot because I didn't want it rolling around my trunk. So I wrapped it up. It was wrapped up,
God.
but it still smelled gnarly. Right? It's a dirty diaper.
Did it really?
Yep. So
You don't say.
so dude, basically I had a crappy diaper in the trunk, and it's permeating through a very thick firewall, by the way.
Yeah, your trunk is full of poop.
or whatever
So
the back part is.
That's going to happen.
It's huge. So
Poopy trunk.
So I pulled that out and
Junk in the trunk?
junk in the trunk, aired it out at the gas station while I was pumping gas, and now we're in good shape.
Sweet, dude.
But
nice.
yeah, a little poop story for you.
That's cool, man.
nice.
Yeah, I was just relieved that it wasn't a dead animal though, because who knows where that could have been.
Yeah.
Inside my dash or some shit.
Ugh,
Oh,
damn. I mean, it's bad enough. Like, if you left a damp towel in there, it would have been horrible. Like, it would have got all moldy and gross. So, poop, little step up.
by the way,
Well, at least it's in.
damn
it's
towel would probably be
sealed.
fine still.
It would get moldy and gross, but it would
After
be
a long time, but yeah.
2 weeks in a closed trunk. Yeah, it would get gross. But to that point, you'd open the trunk and it would air out pretty quick. But poopy diapers.
Yeah, that was a bad move. And I blame the kid who distracted me. I would have thrown it away, but I was approached by this young gentleman who was very enthusiastic.
Gentlemen, no less.
Gentleman with a nice hat. As I was wrapping the
nice
diaper
hat.
situation,
derby?
Dante took a picture even of that happening, and he asked me for some Drywall Awesome and or Radwood stickers, and I happen to have some in my backpack,
what?
and I hooked them up, and
I see.
I got pulled away.
That's a good reason.
And then the poopy diaper remained, and I totally forgot about it.
Dang, dude.
But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Not ideal. Lane, do you have any updates, or do you want to get into some questions and then get to your updates later?
I don't have any updates.
Okay.
We have
Grab some
stuff we
beers.
did,
Yeah,
but I think we should do some questions.
let's do it. It's beer 30 also,
Yeah.
or beer o'clock as Art calls it. I forgot. Beer o'clock. Oh, what a guy. Look at this
Look
service.
at this.
Look
He
at
usually
this
doesn't do
service.
this, but he's on camera today, so he's
I know, he's trying to
show
make a
off.
good impression. It's like
Yeah,
the in-laws
exactly.
are here.
He's trying to.
And he's going to go in front of the camera to do it. I like it. So no one can see it. Very
Gracias.
very secretive. And what are you doing over there? Getting the gold foil down?
Knocking the foil down.
I see.
You got to do that, right?
As they
Yeah, I
call
guess
it,
so.
as they say it. No.
Yeah.
Ben Roget's asking what events we plan to do at Car Week, but I think we've talked about that like 3 times. Didn't we talk about it last podcast?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, we did.
We'll be all over the place starting tomorrow. Basically like a week and 2 days of Monterey Car Week gallivanting. I think only Monday is my day off. Monday and, Saturday. If
I have Monday and Tuesday off, I guess.
Nice. Automotive Omnivore says, Lanes. Oh, first of all, if you want to submit a question to be answered on the podcast, follow us on Instagram. And then, at some point during the week, we post a questions post. Sometimes it'll have a Camaro with a hood open. We just don't know.
Yeah. You might get stoked. You might get one of those lucky days.
That's right. Doesn't matter. The picture, it's all about the questions.
That's right.
Great questions.
What people do is if you put a very interesting photo, it's just like people like and then scroll. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then move on. It's like, what is that?
So post bad pictures.
Really
that.
bad pictures with nondescript
Did you just insult my picture, motherfucker?
No,
you don't know anything about photography. You're talking shit right now?
I didn't even see your picture.
I'm just being a dick. I'm just fucking.
Wow.
What did you say about him, though?
He said bad picture.
I said bad picture.
I hate you.
What did
man.
I do?
I don't know. You said post. Oh, you were just reiterating what he was saying.
Yeah. Echoing.
You guys suck.
We got 20 comments.
Automotive Omnivore says, Lane's birthday rally. Is that first weekend in December holding, or are you ready to share the general location and start endpoints? Not yet. Not yet. But that date is holding for me. I have it on the calendar.
I totally forgot. I was like, what's my birthday rally?
Oh, cool.
Oh, I thought you were saying, when is my birthday?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need like a reminder for your own birthday? Do you have it in your phone?
No, he doesn't. Mine calendar.
Mine calendar. Oh, shoot. Today's my mom's birthday.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
His mind calendar has been failing pretty bad.
Oh, my gosh.
I got to text her right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Happy
Live.
birthday, Mom.
Yep.
Is that what I was going to say?
Yeah. Thanks for giving birth to me.
Yeah?
Wait, no.
All right.
Here you go. Live.
Yeah, save that date, which is December. Hold on.
So Lane's
Have it.
birthday is December 2nd.
3rd.
3rd. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, 234, I think is what we're looking at, right? Yeah.
And Art's birthday was last week.
I know.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Hey, I don't know anything about photography, guys, so I'll just not mention it.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Sorry. Swedish Cadillac says, you're the host of a one-take type show where each of you drives strangers' modified shitboxes each week. FMK. Vehicles from the 70s, 80s, 90s. The cars will be spread from all different manufacturer makes, models, not just BMW or Porsche. So I guess it's just the decades.
Oh, 60s, wait.
70s, 80s, or 90s.
Oh, man.
Any car?
He's just saying which.
I'm killing the 70s.
That's interesting.
I'm fucking the 80s and I'm marrying the 90s.
But this is just driving people's cars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm confused. I have to see the question myself.
It's a very confusing question.
In a way.
Generational.
70s, 80s, 90s. I feel like I've driven so many 80s cars that I'm not as interested in. I've kind of experienced most of them. Not most of them, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the 70s I might be marrying just because I feel like I haven't driven as many of the vehicles, even though they probably suck for the most part.
That's the thing, is like you're
besides
stuck with
like Porsche, Ferrari,
even then
BMW.
Yeah, even then it's not as good as the 80s or 90s. So you're stuck with it.
Long hood 911s, RS, like all that stuff was rad.
Okay, those are like
914.6s,
exceptions, right?
Hemi Cudas,
Yeah.
come on, huh?
Yeah.
What about the Judge? No, is that in the 70s?
You have some good like 1970, 71 American cars, like early 70s, some decent stuff.
Oh, the split bumper.
I mean, they're
Camaros and stuff
ugly
like
and
that?
stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely killing the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Warren. You said kill 70s, fuck 80s, and marry 90s.
Yep,
that's what I'm doing. You have McLaren F1.
I know, but that's
F40.
the thing. It's like you're not driving McLaren F1s, but you're also. I'd be driving like Pacers and stuff in the 70s.
Yep,
that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll probably marry the 70s.
Cool. All right,
but all of it, yeah. Like I feel like just. Yeah, because you get like that's what's cool about the 90s, right? You still have all that Radwood charm, but like you get modernity and cool design.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to think of one 80s car outside of the F40 that I would prefer. Well, the Lotuses are cooler, but you would actually never mind. You don't want a Lotus Esprit, regardless. You know?
But this is just driving people's cars.
Yeah. I wish like if this question was tied to like the group of people that we like our community, right? Like their 80s cars, their 90s cars. Would that make more sense?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm marrying the 70s, dude. I can drive 240Zs. I can drive all kinds of cool stuff.
Whoa.
And then I'm fucking the 90s and marrying the 80s.
Okay. I like it.
We
like
did it.
Jesus.
No, I married the 70s.
Yeah, you did.
I can't marry that.
Are you drunk? What's going on right now?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm moving on. Alan Smithy says, so does this mean we can watch Art spill his beers now?
Ooh, you'd be
Look where his hand is right now.
I know.
It's getting
crazy.
It's getting scary
it's
right
so
now.
bad. Look at it.
Just, one of these?
Actually, what I need to do is just stop looking at questions.
Well, now people can see like what happens.
I know,
right?
they think
the
we're
way
crazy.
it happens is he puts his beer here, and then he goes up. He has his arm here, and then he goes to
one
like
move.
Yeah.
But
rather
now,
than do that.
I feel like we will get some justification. We're not just
You're
being
getting proof.
mean.
Getting proof.
Hushy Pushy says, people say you're compensating for something if you drive a big truck or fancy sports car. But what sort of vehicle gives off the opposite vibe?
This is the only question I read, and I had an answer right away. It's when you go micro. Like Mini Cooper, like little, like if we go small car, like you don't give a crap. Like that's the last thing you're thinking about, right? Like,
And like stripped spec. If it's like, it can be said sports car, but if it's the least amount of bling or I think there's a certain vibe there.
Okay, I thought you were thinking or saying more because like trucks, like they're strip spec. So if you get like a basic like
truck too,
like
fleet
a utilitarian,
yeah, exactly.
Like you're just yeah. Yeah, I like like a Abarth, like a little Fiat 600 or something. Like that's like so rad, and you have zero interest in. It's not a horsepower thing. It's like you're just like enjoying like a fun little toy, you know.
Although it still is a show-off car.
I guess, right?
So it is like sports car, show-off car.
Yeah.
And then I would say like a Prius is like a compensation thing too, or at least it used to be. It was like, oh, look at me, I'm saving the world.
A little bit of a status
like,
symbol.
Yeah. Tesla, obviously.
Status symbol for sure.
By the way, is there anything worse than a modified Tesla?
I don't think so. No.
Dude.
It's pretty bad, right?
It's pretty bad.
I tried to get a picture of one the other day on the way home from the podcast, and it was too dark. It was a stanced out Model 3.
Yeah.
Like it was on like gnarly, like horrible camber, and it had some weird kind of cladding, like not cladding, like a over fender, like but molded on, like really bad wide body. That is the worst. I'll try to pull pictures.
So many matte wraps and racing stripes and stuff. It's really bad. Yeah, I think you're going down the right road though. It's like a 1500 Chevy single cab 2-wheel drive.
Yep.
Right? Like the most utilitarian, or a Matrix or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Some car is just like a car. Like the most base Corolla or something.
Yeah, but that's almost too boring. But you're right. I think it's like, yeah, what can you have that's sort of interesting but still...
That's key.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, like enthusiast. Like a little Mini Cooper where it's like they're cool, but you're not, because I feel like the size and like the ostentatiousness is what makes it like the compensating part, right? Versus like where you're just like focused on and really the enjoyment of what it is versus like
the reality is, if you're a real like car enthusiast, I don't think any of it's compensation.
No.
Like you think one like,
but that's the thing is like it's not for a real car enthusiast because it's the outside perspective of non-enthusiasts that say that they see someone in a fancy car. It doesn't matter if it's like a really obscure French car or something. They're still like, oh, look at this guy's overcompensating. But Real Chris Baca asks, old Recaro SR3s on eBay. How to tell real from fake?
Oh man, I think there's some stuff. So like, I actually just saw. Darn, I don't know. One of the accounts that I follow is like an importer of like Recaro seats and stuff, and he just did a thing like 2 weeks ago and was like how to spot a fake.
Oh. Well, there you go. I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm surprised that there are fakes. Is it just like they make an actual full fake, or is it like upholstery wise
full fake?
Like the fake, the Recaro like stitching and stuff,
and they put a Recaro sticker on it and everything.
I don't know about sticker, but yeah.
Because there is a sticker underneath usually that has the date, and I guess if it's a vintage seat, you would be able to tell that it's weathered and old. And then I imagine because the knobs usually have a molding on there too that has numbers.
Yeah, but it's even like
easy to replicate.
There's even like it's kind of like they fake everything, right? Like Rolexes and Momo steering. Cheesy fake Momos and stuff.
Right, Rolex is a good example because that takes a lot of work to fake and
they're pretty good.
Pretty
right?
good job. I kind of want a fake one. It'd be kind of fun to have one and just beat the shit out of it and not care. And
for sure,
because
it might look more real when it's beat too.
I would love to see a good fake. I've never seen it.
What you're describing is kind of like I've heard people do that own the real one. And so it's kind of like the whole like
it's like the guy with the Bugatti that races
exactly like you have the fake Type 24 or whatever those early ones are, and like the Persang, and then you also have the real one, but you drive the fake one, and
that's crazy.
So like you could have the watch version of that,
right? Yeah.
I can't find this site. I always forget what it's called. I'll try and find it and I'll text it to Chris.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see here. Brickyard Garage asks.
By the way, Chris, thanks for hooking up coffee for the Last Morning Motors.
I believe you called it delicious.
Yeah, it was
delicious.
Delicious.
I only had one cup, but it was delicious.
I know.
Because there was only one cup.
We need to bring more cups.
I used the dude, that was funny. So I took the last cup. I used the cup that held the stir sticks.
Yeah, smart. Yeah. Brickyard Garage. Are there any cars you aspired to own when you started the podcast that you no longer find worth it due to how much their price has increased? I think GTIs, Mark 1, Mark 2, they used to be
You're out?
very, well, I mean, I guess if I found a deal on one, but man, like a really nice Mark 2 is $15,000 now, something like that. And they used to be $5,000.
Yeah.
6 when we started. Like
8 for a perfect
8
one.
for a perfect one. They basically doubled in price, which I don't think is that unjustified. They're cool cars.
No, it's totally justified, but under 10, you're like, oh man.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And then Mark 1s are even more of an increase. So they're just rarer, more rare.
Yeah, I that was kind of going to be my answer as well.
Yeah.
Because it's also one of those cars you're like, you kind of, when you really think about it, like, what are you going to do with it?
Tootle around.
Yeah.
Is it tool around?
Tool.
Well, it's also cool that it's a cool
That's
car
what you do.
that
You just tool.
you can take anywhere. Like it makes everybody. It's like a cool car. Tootle. I guess Tootle is driving it around anywhere and making people smile. But I also like that a nice Mark 1 GTI demands as much respect as any new Lambo at any Cars and Coffee, like anywhere. You know, like there's such cool cars. You know, and there's so much history there, and there's so much like relatability with people and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's 2 cars. The E46 Corolla. That's completely ridiculous. I'm not going to pay 25, 30 grand for one.
Yeah.
And the FD RX-7, like they're way too expensive now.
FDs are so bad.
How about a Mark 4 Supra? Like,
dude,
did
you want that?
No, I never did, but those have like quadrupled in price. Yeah. So I don't know. The other one, if I didn't already own one, is an E30.
Oh,
which were totally attainable for 6-7 grand to get a very nice one, are now 3 times that. So
yeah,
that's unfortunate. What about you, Lane?
It's worth it though for those. I think because it's like
I think the right one. It is still worth it, and there are deals out there, but yeah.
I don't know if I mean, my original choice was Mark 1 GTI because I did read that question earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Mini Coopers, Mark 1 Minis, because I really was serious. Like I was even 6 months ago, I was like, I should just get a Mini. That'd be so rad. I love them. And I was thinking of them as like $25,000 to $30,000 cars, or 20 to 30, even though they were like 20 forever.
Yeah.
Now they're like, it's like 60 grand for like a nice early, earlier Mini Cooper, like a Mark II.
Tough one to justify.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know they were that expensive. Those are really cool for sure.
Because so many of them are like the ones you're getting for cheaper, like say 40, kind of beat.
40 even. Dang.
And then a lot of them are the 80s ones and stuff. They
made them into the 90s.
So when you get them cheaper, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Europe in 92, our friend had a brand new one in 92. They had just picked up.
That's rad.
Yeah. But I don't want one of those with the big dash and stuff. You want the little metal dash and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And left-hand drive for me, but that's hard.
Yeah,
I don't know what markets those were. But they did make them. I don't know where. Dan Serralo says, what song do you have on repeat lately, and what would be the car that most matches the vibe to drive while listening to it? What you listening to?
Dude, what are you listening to?
Oh, man. You do not want to know what I listen to on the way down.
I need to look.
Is it more elevator music?
No, I do love elevator music, but let's see if it's on here. I was listening to the Amadeus Motion soundtrack. It's all Mozart.
Wow.
And I was just
Amadeus.
That's such a good soundtrack.
I cannot believe that.
I mean, I pulled it up just to show you that's the last thing I was listening to.
I would have to turn that in about 30 seconds. I could give 30 seconds and I just drive me crazy.
It's so good. It's so good.
So good. You listen to classical like radio?
Not so much. I usually, because I always listen to
I
select music that I want to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah. Not you don't like the regular classical.
Don Giovanni Act 2. Come on, man.
Lane, are you listening to this or are you looking at your phone? What's going on?
I'm listening, dude.
What the heck? Stray dog in the building?
All right.
Whose dog is that?
Oh, this is what's his name? Hatchet?
I mean, I enjoy a little Vivaldi Four Seasons.
There you go.
But
hey,
I don't know if I'm listening to.
I don't have anything for you.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Rubs and loves, I think is what they call it.
That's all I've got.
That scared me though. I thought it was a raccoon.
When you said that, I got all creeped out because I thought it was like a rat coming in.
Well, it kind of looked like one actually.
Out of my trunk?
Big rat.
Poopy rat?
Yeah.
Poop rat.
A poop rat. I just got all shivery.
Classic poop rat.
What am I listening? I'm looking at it's like basically I have my kids in the car a lot. So it's like Nick Jonas.
Don't lie, dude. Don't lie.
And then there's a couple, I listen to Vibrant Thing, a Q-Tip.
Nice, dude.
Maroon 5.
Yep. All the classics.
Jonas Brothers. A lot of that stuff.
Jonas Brothers. Man, I haven't thought of that in a long time.
So
Jimmy
that
Earl.
being said, though, before that, I was listening
Turnstile. Have you guys heard Turnstile? It's a good punk band.
I listened to a lot of
really
Ika
listen to
Mouse
punk.
recently.
Oh, nice.
That's just, I was just a lot of Ika Mouse.
Are you ganja smoking?
I listened to Ika Mouse on the way up, and then I ended up listening to Sister
Bitty bang
Nancy.
bang, bitty bang
Like,
bang.
I just ended up full on reggae, classic like reggae.
I never knew you were into classical music either.
Oh, I love classical music.
Every time I put on,
yes.
I have a couple mixes with Ika Mouse songs, and every time it comes on, my youngest daughter just hates it. She goes, "Skip it! I hate it!" Like it's the bitty bang bang, bitty bang bang. You know, like,
You think that you? Why do damn dude? I thought you think that you would
Bada
love
bing,
that.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon.
know.
Yeah.
Did you?
My kids love it.
Are you guys amazed that you get into the car with your kids and they instantly demand that we listen to their music?
always.
I want to just
I know.
crush their dreams.
I know.
Always, yeah.
And I'm like into a song too, and I'm like, yeah, this is right.
Yeah, and then
This
they're
kid
like,
should
"This is terrible." Let me listen to my. So
Yeah.
my son's into vintage Beastie Boys right now, which is
Ooh.
good and bad because, on one hand, I'm like, okay, cool, I can listen to that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you can only listen to No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and
you've heard it so many times.
Sabotage and the New Style and all those songs so many times in a row. Like he'll listen, literally, we'll get in the car and every time he's like, "Can we listen to the New Style?"
Fight for your
The New Style.
life.
I'm like, yeah. And it's so, I listen to those songs. I'm like, they must be, I bet they have like a good perspective on their career. But, at the end of New Style, it's a lot of girls, a lot of cursing, and a lot of beer or whatever it is. You're like, dude, they must look back at that and just kind of cringe.
It's
like,
very punk
but they were
rocky.
18 too.
It's very like punk rock lyrics too.
Yeah, they were
It's like,
18, 19 years old.
Yeah,
in
I was
New
born
York.
with a bottle in my mouth. Like, it's very punk style.
But at
It is
least you
fun.
don't. I mean, can you imagine it being like Barney or something though? You're
No,
much
we
better
totally,
shape.
I won't listen to any of that stuff. We
Yeah.
basically, it's kind of like food. Like you're going to eat what we eat. And
Yeah, you're gonna eat truffle fries.
if you have to, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not like making him a separate meal. You're eating what we're eating, and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you're eating the
And
broccoli, you're
you're
eating the spinach,
listening to the music I listened to when I was young.
and so I'll play him stuff. And there's certain things that he'll get into. Like I played him Rage Against the Machine. He likes really like upbeat, aggressive music. But the problem is if you play like, I'm trying to think of like Bulls on Parade.
Mhm.
You can only listen to that so many times in a
Yeah.
month. Like after like 5 or 6 times, you're like, I can't listen to this song again. But he was like, come on, we never listen to my music.
You know what song has been hyping me up lately when I hear it is "Sky is a Neighborhood."
It's a great song.
You know the Foo Fighters song? Yeah.
it's
It'll just, because I have that on a mix and it comes
okay.
on, I just bump it.
Nice.
Dude, you can't fault them.
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of Raffi.
Oh, geez.
A lot of Raffi.
Yeah. That's bearable. That's definitely better than like, Baby Shark.
Is it all
or-
covers or Raffi?
No, he's got his own.
It's Raffi.
Well, I mean, it is.
Original.
Yeah, it's like Baby Beluga and like.
But those are his songs,
Down by
right?
the Bay. Was it?
those-
Did he
No,
write
Down by the
them?
Bay is not. Baby Beluga's not.
I don't think so.
Sitting on the dock of the bay. Is
No,
that
he's
right?
Nah,
it's
no,
all
but
him. Like it's
Where
all
the
children's
watermelons
songs.
grow, Warren.
I just thought he did those.
dog.
He just made him popular.
Llamas eating their pajamas.
Oh, do you remember
That one?
Linda
That's a
Arnold?
deep
She
jam.
was a big children's singer. It's our friend Toby Tierman's mom.
Okay.
Local knowledge.
Sweet, dude. Sweet.
Well, she had all these albums in like the 90s.
The name sounds
and
familiar,
stuff.
but yeah, I don't know. I was just always listening to what my parents listened to, and I don't know.
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding, yeah.
I know,
Joel.
me too. I got into like
You know,
the
Paul
same. Like, I would
Simon.
listen to like Beach Boys or like
Yeah.
I got all into
Paul Simon, Bob Marley.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So
yeah.
it's all good, dude. It's all good. Danger to Manifold says, I saw a PT Cruiser with rear wheel spats or covers, which got me thinking, which Radwood era car would look the best or least worst with them?
We already know.
Spats.
Chrysler LeBaron, the early one.
Yep,
The
that's a good one.
John Voight one.
That's a good
It
one.
looks awesome. I mean, it's like stupid awesome, but like it actually like it. I think it was a nice addition. Like if it didn't have them, like it would just be another one. But like the fact that it had it made it even more ridiculous. But like more like in a campy way. I felt like it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What about like a first gen minivan? It just seems like why not?
Yeah, kind of. It would. You know what it would look like? It looks like a Bonneville car when you do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
like all
so if it
aero?
had like baby moons
Mhm.
and
Spats.
those and spats, like I could see there's some 928 like Bonneville kind of cars,
Mhm.
and they do the wheel covers like that.
Right.
Dude, what about the like a Ford LTD or like things like that, like a big like big like lowrider style, like
I think a lot of those
Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Like those, but it works though, right?
That's like a no-brainer. Yeah, totally.
But it totally works. It's not like you don't really like second guess it or even like it's just kind of like, oh, that
still doesn't look good though.
Not great. How about that? Was it a Nissan or no? It was a Mazda RX-7 at Radwood, Austin. It had front wheel covers.
Yeah, but that was a whole custom build, right?
Yeah, it looked so cool though. It had like
what year
bubble,
Mazda RX-7?
Like a 95.
Like an FD?
No. It was the one before that.
FC,
yeah.
like
FC.
a 944 looking
but it
one.
was like almost like it looked like something out of like Total Recall or something.
It wasn't
like,
painted yet, but he had wheel covers front and rear.
I think I remember the car. It was cool, right?
It was very cool. It was well done, and you could see once it's painted, it's going to look like a spaceship. It's going to be really interesting. But as far as like another car that would work with this,
I see like a Corvette or something, like a C4 Corvette, like Bonneville style, because they have the very disky wheels too. They're very slabbed. Yeah.
Wow, that'd be pretty rad. Yeah.
Disky wheels.
F body Camaro, like an 80s one, or even a 90s. I could see that working.
Mm-hmm.
They also don't have full fenders. They have the ones that kind of like they flatten out, like a 928 rear fender.
Oh, right.
So it feels like less room.
Oh, 928.
Yeah, that's what my original.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
928 could do it.
Because like you look at Art Skyline, it would look horrible.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Especially like anything with fender flares like that. Like you want it like a flat, like a slab sided thing.
And just anything with a full arched fender, which is the way the God intended fenders to be. But like, cars with like fenders that are more
right. Like what is that one? There's like is it like a Citroen CX or something?
Oh yeah, and they have
those
them.
and that
all those Citroens
because they have that very low like wheel
SMs
arch, right?
have them, right?
SMs, yeah.
Those look good.
Oh, I love SMs. Oh, and I was thinking about the compensation question. Like, there's also like that's a really beautiful, like, cool enthusiast car that like it's just so cool. Like
that's a good like you just not compensate. Yeah, because it's also a weird car.
It's also a weird car. Like
yeah, that's a good one.
They're so rad. If you're fine with the upkeep and paying for maintenance and shit, like they're so awesome.
I know.
That's definitely you gotta have a mechanic first.
Which apparently that's the whole thing.
Dude,
like,
is that just like the perfect car for electric swap?
Oh, maybe, but it's so complex.
But then the suspension works off of a rotating assembly in the engine.
Everything you'd have to like.
Yeah, but why don't you just work it off of like
air ride? You probably could. Yeah, you'd have to do like an air ride swap, and everything else. But
I mean, you strip it down. You're building a full build. Do a full build, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
be rad.
Well, the issue is is that yes, it's complex, so it will have issues, but it's like it's having someone that can work on it more than anything, right?
Yeah. So like it's stripping back all that stuff and like starting from scratch, basically.
Yeah, but it's like the way that suspension works is why it rides the way it does too. So like, you're taking that away, and then I guess you doing like some mag ride version or something.
Well, no, if you just do air, which is what it's using air, right?
No, it's hydraulic. It's like that.
Oh yeah. So if you're still doing hydraulic, but you like upgrade all that, you can still do that with them.
Well, you just need it's like pressurized, right?
Yeah.
So
how you run it off a little?
No, you just like
pump or whatever.
Take it all out, put air right in.
Yeah,
it's insane, man. I've never experienced anything like it. Like you drive, you've driven on a lot of adaptive suspension stuff and like the Magic Carpet ride, but like you literally like you feel the bumps, but like they don't do anything to the chassis. It's just kind of like they just absorb. Yeah.
It's too bad they're not more common and easy to work on. I wonder if it's any better in France. It's got to be.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Like,
Paul said there's one guy in the U.S. It's that some guy in SoCal, and like he's getting very old.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's one in Santa Cruz, but I think they might have even closed.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that was doing that. What's his name? Sean used to work for?
Yeah. Exactly. And I drove by the other day, and it did not look like they had any cars up front, and it was closed up. So I know where he lives on Morrissey, but
oh, that's the guy. The guy that always has like DSs and stuff in his house.
And he has the wagons and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, rad.
I think his 16-year-old son, like his daily was a Citroen wagon.
That's amazing.
So crazy.
So cool.
The Safaris, I think.
You imagine like coming to high school and your 40-year-old French car.
Like no one cares.
I know. What are you compensating for?
Yeah, nothing.
Exactly. We have one more question. Something we probably won't be able to answer. No, I'm just kidding. Scarth 911 says, "What's the best Jeep model and why?"
Jeep.
We
definitely won't be able to answer this.
You can try. I like just that classic Cherokee. I know it's not like the iconic Jeep model, obviously a Wrangler.
Like what's that called?
Like a 90, I think it made them up to like 2000 or something. But
they did 2000
like
something.
That just square body. They made a 2-door hardtop.
Is it called a YJ or some shit? What is it?
No, it's a Cherokee.
No, but there's still a code to it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, of course there's a code. I don't know what the code is, but
yeah, but they have like that 4-liter inline 6
inline
manual.
6. You can get a manual. Sport, yeah, and it had like the nice wheels. Yeah. It's got a very Volvo 240 wagon body going on. Yeah. Interiors as basic as it gets. There's just something very utilitarian. And
I remember a friend of our family bought one new in like 95, and it was such a old car, but it was the sport and stuff, and it was I don't know, it's kind of cool.
It's pretty funny they could call it a sport. I like that. It's nice.
Yeah. Nice. Or Ford Explorer had the Sport too. It's a 2-door.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. I think that's good.
I do like the new Wrangler 2-door hardtops. I think they're still a pretty good looking. I don't know. I know they don't drive fantastic, but as far as a city runabout,
I mean, you were the one that has driven the most like old Jeeps, and I remember you talking about how horrible
they're just so loose in every way, right?
Every way,
yeah.
Every
like
single
CJ 5s and 7s and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. But the new ones with the Pentastar, now they have a V8 too.
You can get a V8, yeah. I mean,
we still haven't driven that, but that seems like the best Jeep, right? Like it actually, everyone says that modern. They tied it up. It has good suspension, has good steering, and it has a great motor, and it looks good. It's rowdy. That makes a lot of sense. I really like the way that the CJ5s look, like the round headlight, like early 80s, late 70s ones. I think that's the best looking one, but I mean, is that the best one? Like just as we're saying, like, you're going to be driving down a rocky beach or something maybe, but otherwise it's like a terrible car to drive around.
I think just from like my high school days and stuff, I remember a few parents had like 97 Grand Cherokees.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty dope back then.
Not bad.
Like our friend motor. Mark Christie had one. His parents had one and they put a Borla exhaust on it or something, and it sounded like meaty, and it was quick.
Sure.
Actually,
it was a big displacement, right? What was I
don't know what they were.
Yeah.
Were they 5.7s or something?
Dude, now you don't ask stuff like that because we're gonna give the wrong answer, and then we look like idiots.
Offending people. Yeah, we look stupid.
But
you're right. It was.
I just remember that being a nice. It was like full leather.
Yeah.
Kind of cushy, had 4-wheel drive.
The quilted leather.
Everything was color coded too, like all the trim.
And theirs was like blue over gray. And I remember it had a really good sounding V8. And then I remember taking it down to our friend's property down in Central California and going wheeling, kind of like climbing some trail, going on some trails and stuff. It did great at that, and it was it was good.
Yeah, I remember.
But
that
those
too.
I also remember when I worked at the Subaru dealership, offering people like $1,500 trade-ins on them. So,
even when they were super nice
and they were nice cars.
Right.
Yeah. I just remember, I'm trying to find it, but I remember like their ad campaign was that it was the fastest SUV in the world at the time. Which they continued.
Dude, they were quick
with their Trackhawk and all that stuff.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, but it's hard to argue with a new Wrangler, especially like a V8.
Dude, a new Wrangler, like the 2-door, a short one.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
I know. With the right mods too, like better bumpers.
But that's the thing, you get into that, it's like a Corvette, right?
Well, of course.
You become a Jeep guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like no one's arguing that it's a lifestyle for sure.
Yeah.
Jeep guy. But you have so many options that you can customize it pretty well to be like
you can definitely be like tasteful, but you're still in that world.
Did you get that bumper sticker that's upside down?
It's a Jeep thing, or no?
It's like,
what's that one? Turn me over or something.
Exactly. If you can read this, flip me over.
Yeah.
What's the one that what's his name has upside? Boss Hogg, the one up north.
Oh, he's got a oh shoot, what is that?
That's a really cool model.
He has a Scrambler.
A Scrambler. That's a rad model, right? With the graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
They did so many cool graphics packages and stuff.
They did.
Cool. Yeah.
And then you throw sunsets and like
then you throw in like Dukes of Hazzard, like Daisy Duke, she had one, and it was rad. And
how about a Clueless, huh?
Clueless.
Yeah.
I want to see maybe it's out there, I should look, but a comparison test of vintage SUVs like this, which would be like G-Wagon, Jeep, Land Rover, kind of like those, they're all, and the FJs, like they're all kind of crappy, right? So which one's really the best? Is a G-Wagon that much better than a Wrangler? Or
at what?
I don't know, just being a car.
I mean, I think it's like anything, like
Well, I saw a 2-door G-Wagon hardtop in Seabright the other day, and it was dark gray, and I've always loved those. Like that's what I would want. Straight 6, just standard tartan interior. But I don't know why I want that so much more than a comparable Jeep. Like, is it really that much better of an experience?
Built better.
Definitely.
Yes.
It's still like a industrial military spec thing.
Better.
That's what I need to see. They're pretty like those early ones. Though. I'm not talking the modern G-Wagon.
Yeah, because they were military vehicles.
They were just military Jeeps.
Built by Mercedes. They're like built.
They're German.
Right? Yeah.
They're built by Puch Steyr, right? Steyr Puch. They're not built by Mercedes. They have a Mercedes engine.
My brother-in-law just got like a 2015 G-Wagon.
Okay, well that's that's a completely different story.
Those are pretty dope.
Yeah, I know. Those are. Yeah, they're so. I would love to check them out. Yeah, because they have a super simple dash. Like they're very, very, very basic.
Utilitarian, right?
Yeah.
So the way, I mean, I do think like the doors will shut pretty solid.
Well, that's what I'm saying about all. It's the way everything fits together, and every Jeep you've been in old, it's like they kind of rusty. They're rusty and they're creaky.
I wonder if driving, like the type of driving that I would use it for, is like driving around town, going, I don't know, up the coast. Would it be a better experience, better driving? Would it stop better?
Definitely.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
But also G-Wagons are not a great driving vehicle.
I know.
And I've driven a few, like I've never driven like a low model. I've only driven G55s and G63s and stuff, like the AMG ones. And like the steering's so pathetic, and like, it kind of clunks when you go full lock. And,
I've only driven the modern stuff, the big 4-door, but I'm talking like a 1985 2-door
diesel,
straight 6. Well, not even a diesel, but
I feel like it would be kind of comparable to a Defender or something. Like I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I feel like
better or worse than a Wrangler?
Better, and better than a Defender too.
Okay. Well, okay.
What Wrangler? Because there's some really plasticky ones, right? Like where it's like,
call in if you know.
Well, and then you get to everyone hates the square headlight Wranglers, right? Which is from 19.
I know exactly.
To 2000.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Maybe. No, probably not.
Into the 2000s, early
maybe
2000s?
2000?
They did switch to a round headlight in the early 2000s.
They did.
Right?
It was
so
like
it might have been.
There was a little era. There was a little window where they were square and everyone hated them.
It's Radwood era. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Clueless. Yeah, her Jeep was.
Oh, hers was?
Yeah, it was a square headlight one. That was a red one, right?
What's her name?
I don't remember.
Buffy?
Claire? No.
Alicia Silverstone, but what's the... Oh, come on. Claire. Is it?
No. But
Maggie dressed up as her...
I know. And I even knew it then. I was like, hey, so-and-so.
All right.
This is worse than
mental
figuring
calendars.
out what size that V8 was in the...
Let's just not know.
I'm down. Let's do trivia, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's trivia time. I'm looking at my phone because I have a trivia question in here. I think we might have actually answered this once long ago. Similar question because this seems very familiar. On August 7th of this year, a 27-year-old British hiker named Josh Perry completed the Pacific Crest Trail in record time.
Wait, you already did this as trivia.
No, this is a new trivia. It happened on the 7th. I haven't done it on.
Okay.
It's a new time. New
record time
from south to north. So you start at the border of Mexico, and you go all the way up through California, Oregon, Washington, and you end up in British Columbia, I believe. What was the time? 2,600 miles. 2,600 miles, one straight shot.
This is what that Alicia Silverstone's movie was. Or no, Reese Witherspoon. She was in that movie.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's The Trail, right?
Terrible.
Yep, it is. That was not a good movie.
It's horrible.
It was so nice. It was about liberation, guys. Okay.
Eat, pray, love on a trail. Yeah, not that movie. All right, let's hear a guess. Come on. 2,600 miles. How long does it take to hike that?
I'm going to say...
This is the record.
I'm going to say 1 year.
Okay. 1 year.
600 miles. I'm like trying to think of like just adding, okay, if he does average 20 miles a day.
Might be a little long. 10 miles a day would be 260 days.
Yep.
I'm just good. Yeah, year.
1 year.
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know how. It might be hardcore.
8 months.
8 months. 55 days.
Holy crap.
16 hours and 54 minutes.
Holy
that is
crap.
47 miles a day.
That's
What
crazy.
the heck?
So part of the reason, like...
Wait, 47 miles. How many miles an hour?
I know, right? It depends how long you're walking,
Well,
I
there's
guess.
also, it's not perfectly flat. That's the whole thing,
You
right?
can't
Like
hike,
there are
you can't hike
sections.
24 hours. So he's doing it faster than that. It's basically running.
That's wild.
Basically
That's
running
insane.
it, and you're carrying like a pack with a tarp,
Yeah.
head tent probably,
Head tent.
and
Obvious.
very minimal food. And then you get resupplies at every ranger station. But you can't do it for a year. Wouldn't work because of weather. Like they have to
yeah,
get
that
it.
makes sense.
And then there's guys that do it. I think they can do it basically roughly double that. They go there and back within a season before the snow starts.
Jeez.
Can you even imagine?
Wow.
2,600 miles, 55 days. Unbelievable. And by the way,
What a
he
loser.
he beat the record by nearly 10 days.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's really impressive.
insanity. All right.
Is he like an Iron Man dude or something?
He looks pretty frail. He looks like me. if I let my hair
What
go.
the heck?
Yeah, he's for the listeners. You
He
can
looks
look
like
it up.
like a marathon runner or something.
Yeah, totally. And he's wearing like basically running shoes in the picture of him at the end. You know, those aren't like hiking boots, right? That's full on
55
trail running.
Yeah.
So yeah, 55
That's insane,
days.
dude.
I know.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. I want to know like how long did he sleep? What did he eat? How did he go to the bathroom?
What was he on?
What was he on? That's the biggest
Jeez.
question. All right. This next question. Well, it's a series of questions here. I think, gosh, this is tough because Art is more nerdy about this stuff, but Lane has like gone really hard on this. He's like addicted. This has to do with Formula One sponsors. The names and companies you see on the Formula One race cars.
It's really tricky, man.
How well do you know what these companies
Oh,
are?
I don't.
Very
dude.
few. Yeah, I like looking them up because they're
It's
they're
so
all
wacky.
I've
Or-
looked up a couple, but I think I forget already.
All right. Just shout out if you know it. Tezos. It's on McLaren.
It's a crypto thing. Isn't it? Yeah, it's a crypto.
Any guesses? Just throw something out.
It's petrol.
Is that a currency? I think it's a.
Petrol. I like that answer.
It's either cryptocurrency.
It's Euro. Nope.
Not a crypto thing.
Well, what do you mean crypto thing?
Isn't it like a platform, like a crypto
more specific.
platform or something?
For
Or is it
currency?
a cryptocurrency?
No. It's an open source blockchain.
Wait, well, blockchain is crypto.
Kind of.
No, crypto's the actual currency,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is the way they can trade it. Is that right?
Well, blockchain is.
This is my favorite part of the podcast.
I thought
where we get to
blockchain
go
is
through
currency.
blockchain.
Blockchain is like the way that they make it, right?
Or is that the way you can trade
But maybe
it
that's
without...
what they do. They make it on. I don't know, dude.
Tezos.
They make it with
McLaren.
Tezos.
Okay, Tezos.
Tezos.
That's number one. Velas. It's on the Ferrari spoiler, the entire back of their wing.
Yeah.
Velas.
Oh my gosh. I have no idea.
They've probably spent, I don't know, $40 million to be there. Maybe more.
Never even
Velas.
thought about it.
I want to say, well, it's usually petroleum sponsors that put a lot of money into them, but I'm going to say it's a boat-related thing.
Boat related?
Boat related.
I like it. I like it.
It's a clothing company.
By the way, blockchain.
Blockchain also.
Wow.
Just stick with blockchain. It's going to get you pretty far. 1 and 1. It's the number one, the ampersand 1.
I don't know that
Haas
one. I've
team?
seen it. Yep.
Yeah.
Haas team sponsored, big prominent 1 and 1 blue logo. They spent $25 million to tell you about themselves.
I've seen it.
Is that the
no
one
idea.
that Magnuson brought there? Was it
No idea. I've never even
one and
knew anything about it
Is
until I
that the
did
clothing company?
Lane's Going Clothing. Boats again?
I've got nothing. Blockchain.
Thank you.
No, it's not the.
You're close. Web hosting.
Dude, what? Where?
Don't know. Probably in like
Ukraine.
Liechtenstein. Rouch.
Jeez.
This is on Red Bull. It's a yellow logo. RAUCH. Rouch.
Yeah. It doesn't have like that.
It looks like Brock's kind of. So I was going to say candy.
Nice. I like it. Candy. $40 million candy sponsor.
It's a finance.
Blew their whole
finance.
Finance. I like that too. Juice.
What the hell? Where?
It's like a huge conglomerate of like
in
sodas
Austria
and
or some
juices.
shit.
Yeah, but it's funny too because it's on the Red Bull team and they sell beverages.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah. There's a lot of that though. Like
kind of strange.
Mercedes has two oil companies.
Oh, two different ones. You mean? Yeah.
Because it's Petronas and Mobil One.
Yeah.
This one you will probably know. I kind of knew this one. Aramco.
Oh yeah, Saudi Aramco. That's the Saudi oil company.
Yeah. Dude, by the way, their revenue in 2021, $360 billion.
That's it.
And they're one of the biggest companies in the world.
Wow.
Aramco. Founded in 1933. $360 billion.
Yep. No big
last
deal.
year.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Sofina. This is on Williams.
Oh yeah. Is it champagne?
All right, we got champagne. I'm locking it in for Lane. Artskis, what do you got?
Dude, I remember looking this up, but I can't remember right now.
Sofina.
It's a software thing.
So that's a good guess. No one really knows what they do. Belgian holding company.
Oh,
they own like a
is
ton
that
of different.
Latifi's like dad or something?
Oh, maybe. They're Belgian though. He's not Belgian.
Oh no, he's not Belgian. He's Canadian.
They have offices in Singapore. They own like a bunch of companies, and no one really. I tried to look it up, and everyone's like, "What does Sofina do?" And everyone's like, "I don't know."
Then why do they advertise?
I don't know.
They just own part of the team or something.
Holding company. I think that literally means they just have businesses that do all sorts of retail.
Well, why do they?
Food,
it's just to get their like
grocery
customers
stores,
to go to the races and stuff.
I guess.
Gnarly.
It's probably a big tax write-off, right? Like
so gnarly.
Some angle there.
You know,
Sofina.
Why didn't you ask me what Google is or something?
I was gonna say like
what about Olivetti?
Like Petronas or whatever. You'd be like, I know.
Well, there's also like the 80s ones
it's
are
a boat
rad.
company.
Yeah, the 80s ones. There was Osama on a bunch of cars, which was like a freight company. Like that was a gnarly one. It's like Osama bin Laden Osama.
There's also Citrix. And I thought you would have got that because of it was on KNBR a lot. Citrix Go to Meeting.
Oh yeah, I remember
they
that.
talked about every morning, 10 times an hour. You'd get Citrix Go to Meeting advertisements, which was basically like early Zoom. Yeah. Everyone was like, "Why do we need this?"
It's still around for Microsoft people. It's super annoying too.
What's the
really
Amazon one that's big?
AWS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like web service.
Well, and you know what's funny too is if you didn't mention any McLaren ones because they're all.
I did.
Oh, you did. Which one was McLaren? Because McLaren ones are all like U.S. sponsors, right? Like those are familiar.
Tezos.
Tezos isn't Tezos also on Mercedes?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's a T with a little 3.
Yeah, it looks like a little Greek.
It's very strange.
Or not Greek, like a freaking Egyptian hieroglyph.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah. There's all sorts of weird ones. Like Cepsa, I had to look up. Cepsa's a huge across the back wings, and like that's like it's a Spanish oil company. But a lot of those, I wonder, like if people in Europe or in other countries look at NASCAR, like do they know what all those companies are?
It's 100% the same thing.
Because that's all the companies that we know.
They would have
like,
no idea.
Yeah. It's like what is Napa Auto Parts or
Wonder Bread? Wonder Bread gives it away, but.
Yeah.
M&M is easy, but
yeah, Purina. You're like, what the fuck is Purina? Oh, got it.
Yeah, but those are gnarly though. They're so obscure because some of them you don't even know what they are. But the ones that you're describing, some of them are just kind of like throwing so much money at something.
You throw out blockchain. I'm like, what? Why? What are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
And what's even crazier too to me, like I always trip out on like internet. Like you have all these cars with all the branding, but how do you find that? Like you have to go like it's like
you can't look it up on Google or something.
Yeah, so you have to like go find like.
I think it's literally like if you're in the store and you're like, oh, I'm buying a some paper, and it's like, I've heard of this paper company, like I can see it, right? It's physical.
But I figure like the most money is an investment, right? Like if you're like trying to throw money at a company on the stock exchange, right? So like when back in the day you see some company on a car, then I guess you can pull up on the Wall Street Journal. You look at like, I don't even know, dude. It's like,
I don't either.
It's like,
well, a lot of times, but their main sponsors would be like cigarette tobacco.
Yeah. And stuff you see
champagne,
at stores,
right? Like martini.
I think stuff you see at a grocery store, at a department store.
Well, Parmalat was the really big one, right? Like that was the big Brazilian, like it's basically like ultra pasteurized
all
milk.
of it. I mean, like, all that stuff, right? Like 555 and Rothmans and
those are all cigarettes.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's your trivia. Thanks for watching.
Mild 7.
That was pretty good.
It's not bad. I actually looked that up.
Cool cigarettes.
I figured there would have been like a spotting guide, like F1 livery sponsors, and there was nothing. It was like talked about who sponsors F1. But
why don't you ask us about Rich Energy?
That's gone, dude. There was another one that popped up, and I was like, oh yeah, it was the old Haas with
Uralkali or whatever.
Uralkali.
That was the fertilizer.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I'm really curious to see how they handle that in Drive to Survive. Like that, because it was during the whole war started, and like I'm curious to see how they like.
I wonder if they make it just like a non-story. They may not cover it,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
interesting.
They might have sent some threats or something.
Oh, Mazda spin.
Although last season, remember he was like threatening to like not make it.
I will pull the sponsorship.
Yeah, I will not. You won't get a check or something.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Pretty cool.
Cool. All right, that's an episode.
All right,
that's a podcast.
Later.
Later.
See ya.